Hi there, this is Tracy.
And Lizelle.
And we decided to make a second video. So if you're noticing the same shirts, the same position, the same light, we have decided she read a poem from her book that she's reading right now. And I have a book that I've been reading as well. And I'm going to read a page of it. And I'm going to open up by showing you the book. It is The Language of Letting Go, Daily Meditations on Codependency by Melody Beattie. And every single day there is a balance, a positive energy, an empowering, a detaching, a controlling. There's a commitment. There is something for every single day that is a direct message to you. And you only have to read. It's about a half a page a day. So if you want to move past the hurt, this book is great. And so I want to read this, and then we're just going to discuss this little paragraph. So this was from yesterday, and it was called Word Power. I know I'm controlling, but so is my husband, possibly more controlling than I am. Each time I set out to leave him, each time I started to walk away, he knew exactly what to say to pull me back in. And he knew that I would respond. He knew how to exactly say what I needed to hear to just keep me where he wanted me to be. He knew what he was doing, and he knew what I would do. I know because after we began recovering, he told me so. Some of us are so vulnerable to words. A well-timed I love you, a chosen moment for I'm sorry, an excuse delivered in the right tone of voice. A pat on the head, a dozen roses, a kiss, a greeting card. A few words that promise love that has yet to be delivered can spin us into denial. Sometimes it can keep us denying that we've been lied to, mistreated, or abused. There are those who deliberately set out to sway us, to control, and to manipulate us through cheap talk. Know anyone like that?
Maybe.
They know they fully understand our vulnerability, and at well-timed words, they break through our naivety. They know what they're doing, and they understand their impact on us. Sooner or later, we will come to realize that if behavior doesn't match a person's words, we are allowing ourselves to be controlled, manipulated, and deceived. She's got a little bit more here, but she always closes with an affirmation. And so today, I will let go of my vulnerability to words. God, help me trust myself to know the truth, even when I am being deceived. Help me treasure those relationships where there is congruity.
Definitely. You've done well.
I hate big words. Help me believe I deserve congruity and truth in the behavior and words from the people that I care about. So let's open that up.
Sure.
What about the power of words for you?
It's so interesting because I've got two sort of I've got two things on everything, really. I've got like two sides to everything. But when I hear you say that, I always tell people, especially when I talk to clients, that it's a word-driven world, and that words are so important. But what I have come to realize is that actions are far more important. And so I think words are wonderful, and I'm a poet. So I love words, and I love putting them together, and I understand the impact and the power of them. But God help me, I just hope in the future for myself as well, that I hope to recognize that words are just words, and they mean nothing until they're acted upon. And I think that pretty words, just as she describes, pretty words can win us over. And because if you're a wishful thinker, and I'm a wishful thinker. I'm a glass half full kind of girl. And so I want to hear words that mean everything to me and take them on board. But in my experience, and and when I say that, I mean in experience that sometimes hasn't really served me, I want to learn, or at least I hope that I've learned, that if that's not backed up by the action that goes along with those words, then really they mean nothing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. There's so much I can look back on between my ex-husband and our narc. And I believed the words, and I believed them, as you probably do. I believe them because I loved them. I believe them because it's a story that I wanted to hear. Now I'm seeing that they were mirroring back what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that. I didn't understand that, but I knew the actions were not followed up. For example, my ex-husband, they were so upper class that this is how the rich people do things, darling. Very, very weird. You know, they thought they were better than everyone. And therefore, you know, I had to dress apart. I had to look apart. But their actions were anything other than classy. And I'm not just talking about the divorce, things they had done in their life that I just didn't. I was like scratching my head going, okay, that's just slimy, that's mean, that's horrible. And those were words. They were words telling me that they were going to pay for my son's education. They didn't back it up with words. I mean, they didn't back it up with actions. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, my earliest, like my recollection of that particular, what we're talking about today is in my latest encounter, you know, with, I don't know that I like our narc. I don't know that I like that, but hey, it's true. But that dude, yeah.
Bugger. What did you call him yesterday?
What did I call him? Nincompoop. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You know who I mean. I just, yeah, and it's interesting as well, that, what was this lady's name again? Let's have a look here. Melody Beattie. I love the fact that she used the word naivete. That's how I felt. I felt naive, very naive. But, you know, a certain part of me doesn't want to give away my naivete. It's part of my way of seeing the world, and I like to be in awe of the world. But it doesn't mean if you're naive that you don't have to be a little bit smart as well. You know, there's a way of seeing the world in awe and wonder, but also being a little bit smart about what is being presented to you. And I think that's what it is. In the end, it's going to be like action has to back up the words. That's what I'll be looking for now. In fact, I won't even be looking at words anymore. As much as I adore and love them, they can come later. Show me. Show me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just spoke with someone on the phone, and if you're listening, this is for you, baby. Her husband was not backing up his words. He always wanted a child, but he wasn't being a father. And she was holding on to that idea, as I did. And you can make excuses for them. We can sit there and we can make excuses until we're blue in the face. But that doesn't mean the action isn't there. Well, what if he's going to change? What if this? When you have people, and she does readings for people, what are the 3 questions that people ask you?
Yeah, so I get asked, we were talking about this the other day, so on a daily basis I get asked the 3 top questions. Will I ever find the one, or is he or she the one? The second one is, will he ever leave his wife for me? That's, you know, I'm not going to even change that to will she leave her husband for me, because generally I get a lot of women asking that question. Not so much men, I get women asking that question, which is interesting too, and we might discuss that later. And the third one is he going to call me? Well, tell you what, if he was going to call you, he would just call you, wouldn't he? You would not be on this thing talking to me, asking a stranger if this man is going to call you. He'd call you. You would know. And until that time, you wouldn't have to worry about it. And I usually say to people as well, you will find the one when you realize you are the one. You are the one. And then that third one about, is he ever going to leave his wife for me? Again, actions speak louder than words. You know what? Step away from the married man when he is a divorced man and he's sorted his business out. Mm-hmm. And he has promised you a lot of things. I know he has. But when he actually acts upon that, that's when you believe it. Not the words. Not the words. So if it helps, I see it a lot. And it doesn't vary very much. There's a very rare exception. I will say this, as an intuitive, I have learned that the most important thing is to be faithful to one relationship at a time, because in my work I have just seen tragic triangles, and love triangles do not work. And if you're part of that, there's a person too much in there. You need to take that equation, get that person out of there until there's just two people. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Right. And I think on that, will he leave his wife for me? Will he leave his wife is really the question. Think about that. If he leaves them for you, will he leave you for the next person? Think about that. Do you want somebody that is going behind the back of their wife right now? I wouldn't. Don't settle for that.
And I'm going to just add in here, I know you feel it's the real thing. I know you do. You're going, oh my God, no, I am the one. And I get that. I totally understand and get that. Allow his actions to speak louder than the words. Take the words out of it. Think about that for a moment. Take all words out of it and see what remains. And there's your answer.
That's all we got for today. This is Tracy.
And Lizelle.
Thanks.
See ya.